Did you know that the global retail industry loses an estimated $1.75 trillion annually due to stock out? Well, what if I told you there's a way to capture those sales even when variants and SKUs are out of stock? I'm Ollie from PreProduct, and today we're going to be looking at two methods of pre-selling out of stock variants. We'll look at manually and also automatically via automations. Often a product stock is ordered all at once, with the buyer guessing, how much of each size, SKU, or variant will sell. Now, buyers are great, but it's an impossible task, hence all the discounting you see in e-commerce. So this leads to scenarios where a customer's perfect size or shade of makeup item that they're after is out of stock, so they abandon the sale, and in the worst case scenarios, abandon their whole order. Let's look at two ways we can fix this. We'll first look at a manual approach, and then we'll look at a automation. Today, we're going to be using PreProduct, which is an app available on Shopify, BigCommerce, and WooCommerce. Let's dive in. So this is a test Shopify store. This first example has only got 3 different sizes, so 3 different SKUs. We can see medium and large are sold out, whereas small is in stock and selling. So let's hop over to the Shopify admin, and I'm in PreProduct, the app I mentioned, which I work on day to day. And we're just going to click new listing, and we're going to select blouse, and we are going to, I'll record a different video on up here. So basically we can set a shipping statement. Let's say just next season, and let's just put in a rough underlying date. And we can see we've got options to charge later, upfront, a deposit. We're not interested in that today, so we'll leave it as charged later, but we'll come down here and we'll click only list specific variants. We'll select medium and large. We could set limits for those variants if we like, but we're just going to do this for now, so they'll oversell indefinitely with this setup. And we're going to click create listing. Let's look at what that looks like in Shopify product admin first. So we'll go to blouse, we'll go down to the variant section, click on medium, and you can see we continue selling when out of stock box is ticked. So that just means Shopify's checkout will actually accept this order, even though there's no stock on hand. That's in contrast to size small, where we have got stock in hand. PreProduct hasn't ticked this box, which is really important because there's definitely scenarios, more often than not, where you don't want to oversell. Let's hop onto the storefront, and we can see we've got our small, which is in stock and untouched. And then if we go to our medium or large, we're showing pre-order small, and we're about to buy now. So you can see how this way we have a mixture of in-stock and pre-order products, variants I should say, and it's all working, and the customer will see the right option compared to what they selected. Now that's great, but what about if we want to change that down the line? Because don't forget, this is the manual way of doing it. So let's hop back into PreProduct. We will go to the blouse. We'll scroll down, we'll have a look at our variants. Maybe we want to return the medium to out of stock because potentially we've sold through all our allocation in the next shipment, and we want to show that sold out sign again. And on the storefront, we can see the medium is now shown sold out, but if we swap to large, we would get our pre-order option again. So, yep, all 3 modes, buy now, sold out, pre-order. You can do that by this manual approach. I'm in PreProduct on that other test store now. Let's look at pre-selling that variant automatically. So if we clicked new listing by the manual process, we'd see it up here, this heavyweight t-shirt we want to list. But we want to do it by automation. So what we're going to do is 2 parts. We're going to go into this listing template screen, and we're going to create a template. We're going to leave this as apply conditionally. We're going to set a little logic line up. So let's say if tags includes also pre-order, let's say auto pre-order, charge later, just so we've got some kind of organization. I generally recommend that you split these into batches. So you might have June shipment 2025, July shipment 2025, that kind of thing. It often makes it a lot easier to manage because later on, once you've got lots of variants and products, using this template, you'll be able to push changes out to them from this screen. So it pays dividends later on to set it up that way. Let's click create template, and just so I don't forget tag, We'll click Set Listing Preferences. Let's leave it as charged later. Let's say, should we say August 2026? And we'll click Create Listing. So what we've got now is a template that our automation can use. It knows which settings to use. It knows which shipping date to display, and it knows which products are eligible. So we'll turn our automation on. So I'm going to go to Setup, Automations, See Automations, and I'm going to toggle on this listing manager. PreProduct can create and finish pre-order listings for you as variants go in and out of stock. This automation relies on conditionally applied templates to dictate settings. And just so we can see nothing's listed, and we'll go in here, nothing's listed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that Shopify tag to this product, and we should see these out of stock variants flip over to pre-order automatically, whilst these buy now variants should remain untouched and stay buy now. So we'll go in products and heavyweight t-shirt, and then we'll go down to tags and we'll add that. And the way this automation works is anytime your product has a sale or changes in any way, the automation will get a chance to run. So while it's working in the background, I'm just going to show you just how many variants we've got here. So it's 96 times 3. And this isn't widely available in all Shopify stores at the time of recording. This will be later on, and you'll be able to literally have thousands of variants. And if we just refresh that t-shirt page, we can see we've got our add to cart. And then if we go to one of these crossed out options, we can see we've got pre-order. Yeah, you can see just how many variants and sizes are going on. So you don't have to have this many variants for an automation like this to be useful. Big catalog, bigger operations, or just a lean team where you don't want to constantly be jumping in the app. Having something like the listing manager, which is rule-based, and listing variants as they go in and out of stock is really handy. And I'll quickly show you what that looks like in the PreProduct admin. So you can see it's synced with template. And if we go down here, we can see we've got green being on pre-order, gray not. We've got a bigger mixture of them, and we can even kind of go through via color and kind of see what's on pre-order, what's not on pre-order. So when would you and when wouldn't you want to use an automation like pre-order listing manager to manage your variants going in and out of stock? Well, starting with when you wouldn't want to. Automations can add complexity, and especially if you're just testing pre-orders out, I'd never recommend starting with an automation like that. I think you should always start with at least a test pre-order, a test product on pre-order, or pilot program where you just have a single one, just to make sure you're happy with the whole flow before your kind of automation's turned on, and before you know it, it's listed 300 different out of stock products, and it's all got very complicated very fast. Yeah, I would stick with a manual approach to start off with, then move to the automation. And advantages, it's just can scale to catalogs of tens of thousands. You'll be able to make pre-orders from literally every single out of stock variant on your catalog, and you've got those template rules to make sure it's only eligible products. A main example where you'd like to use a rule or a tight set of rules is if you're not ordering new stock for a variant, for example, maybe you're discontinuing a certain blouse and you're not going to get it in again, don't let that blouse be put on pre-order. And just some very quick best practices for pre-selling certain variants. It's good to always show an estimated delivery date so customers know that the product is actually coming, they are placing an actual order. It's not just a waiting list or a waiting list cut in the guise of a pre-order. This stock is actually going to arrive and you are going to ship their product to them. So that's one. And number two, you can use this situation to your advantage by creating urgency through the pre-order. So you can say pre-order now to lock in your order. You've already demonstrated that this variant, this size sells out. So using that to your advantage to get some urgency and get some more sales is a great move. Also, you can add a pre-order specific discount. So you can say pre-order today and lock in a 10% discount. And that's very doable through pre-products as well as other pre-order apps. So next steps are to decide whether you're going to choose a manual route or the automation route. And as I mentioned earlier, even if you do plan to use the automation, it's a good idea to test the waters with a manual approach first, ideally with a test product. I'll include a link to pre-product in the description. We've got a starter plan with 0 fixed costs. So if you don't make any pre-orders, we won't charge you anything. And we've also got free trials on all our fixed plans. But if you found this helpful, I'd love a like or subscribe below. Other than that, have a great day. Cheers.